Form if my screen is visible. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So let's get started. Uh, we are done with this Azure backup topic. We have seen backup, we have seen restore, we have seen how to delete the backup, we have seen the basic details. So backup here, it's completed. We'll start tomorrow, disaster recovery, because I see many less people today. So I'll wait till tomorrow. So in today's session, we are going to cover one small topic, which is key vault. Yeah. Though it's a small topic to understand, but it's very crucial and very important. And do not get confused between a recovery vault, backup vault, and key vault. Backup vault and service recovery vault, they are somehow related with each other. The replication data is being saved there, backup data is being saved there, everything is fine. Key vault, it's a different altogether. Ultimately, the functionality is same, but it is definitely not saving your machine's data. It is just saving your keys, certificates, and secrets. We are going to see that what all those things are. But key vault, it's very small feature. How is it useful? Why is it useful? Let me show it to you that first. And after that, we'll see it on the portal. So what is key vault? First, let me show you the icon. Somehow looks like subscription, a little bit different. Here it is. Key vault, this is how it looks. And if I start creating, this is the page. So this is key vault. This is how it looks. Once we create one, you'll see one. And as of now, we do not have any key vault in our environment, right? Few things to keep in mind that key vault, it can be accessed via a managed identity, as in, I mean, earlier this option was not there, but nowadays it is there. It can be accessed using IAM, which we have normally on all the resources. Earlier it was not there for key vault, but nowadays it is there. IAM मतलब किसी को मुझको एक्सेस देना है तो ओनर वगैरह वो सेम हायरार्की इसमें फॉलो होगी. पहले नहीं होता था. Earlier it has its own policy for accessing, but nowadays it is there. So you can use either policy to access this or IAM role or RBAC roles, you can call them, for backup and restore and creating new, etc. everything. Okay. Second thing, when we create, or let me explain it to you that what is a key vault and why do we need it. Let's say that I have a 3-tier application. Where is that diagram? We have 3-tier application here. So now this machine of mine, this is an app front end. Okay, it is an app server, or let's say backend. This server has to talk to this database. I'm not talking about any users here, right? I'm talking about a machine, a resource talking to resource. Why it wants to talk? Maybe this backend machine, let's say we take the same example of Face app. Face app, what it does, it takes the photo here, it works on that, and it replies to the owner or to user, and also it saves the data with themselves, okay, with their own database. So to save the data, this machine has to access this database, and it requires some sort of feature or some sort of authentication, right? कि ये मशीन यहाँ पर जाके डेटा सेव करे. आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट यूजर्स, कि इंडिविजुअल यूजर्स को अपना ये होता है, बट नाउ आई वांट एवरी टाइम दिस मशीन विल गो टू दिस डेटाबेस एंड सेव सम डेटा. So what do I need here? It's user ID and password for this machine, or an identification for this machine, which is called your system identity. We have user identity and we have system identity. तो आप लोगों का जो नाम होता है, that is a different thing. This is, we can create an identity for a machine, right? We can do that, and then जो भी इसमें code लिख रहा है, then it goes to coder. What coder can do, a coder in his code, let's say that if I open one browser, and if I, this is how a code looks. This is not exactly a code, I wouldn't say, but this is something like this. It looks like this. So what I will have to do, or what a coder will have to do, it's use that user ID and password for this machine, the one which we have created for this machine, we created a user ID and password for this machine, backend machine, to access to database, which means the owner of that user ID is this backend machine. So I have to write a program that every time a new picture has come here, that picture should get saved here. And to save, this machine should access this database. To access this database, this machine needs some user ID and password. Fine, we have created a user ID and password, and we have given the access on this machine to that user ID and password. I'm not talking about end user. I'm talking about a user ID and password for this machine. But while writing this program, what the coder will have to do, they will have to put that user ID and password here in plain text. So any a small a hacker with small knowledge, with very less knowledge, it will be easier for him. I'm not talking about experts. The very basic person who knows a little bit about coding, it will be very easier for them to go ahead and use that user ID and password. And once he has that user ID and password with him, maybe he can create his own machine and try to do the same things. It can cause a lot of harm if your user ID and password it is in plain text. So what is the remedy, or what is the benefit, or what is the workaround we have for that? So there, a key vault comes to the picture. What will happen? A user or your developer, it will write a code in such a manner that your, let me delete this, erase this one, it will become clear for you. So if an end user wants to connect to this machine, it will go to my application gateway. In this instead of application gateway, it could be load balancer or anything, right? Whatever commands or etc I have. From this, it is accessing to my key vault, and then from key vault it is going here. This request, this is how it is going. So I do not have, this machine do not have user ID and password directly. What it has, it has the user ID and password for this key vault, or access to this key vault. So this user is going to key vault, and then key vault is giving a user ID and password to this one in a programmatic manner. No one is giving you directly, nothing is happening directly. If this is confusing, let me open paint for you, and I'll make it very easy for you. So here it is. This is my backend server or application server, and this is my database. Simple thing, this machine, the job of this machine is to always write some data on my database. So let's say this is my app server. Whatever transactions and whatever orders am I getting, it's, let's say it's Amazon or Flipkart, whatever orders I'm getting, this machine's job is, there is a program where our developers has written that they will go to this database and keep on update. Someone has removed their order, so delete. Cancel has been done, so delete. In short, update the this one records. So one thing is that I can create a user ID for this machine and give access to that user ID on this database, and it's simple, done. But now what is happening, that it is in plain text. So to avoid that, we do have one option called key vault. Let's say this is your key vault. So now what will happen, I'm not giving the access directly to this server. I'm giving my database, I'm giving access my data to my database, to a user, or to maybe a secret or a key which is there in this key vault. So now I'm saying on this database that this key vault can access me, and now this app server will go through the key vault. Now this server will have access on key vault will have access on this server. So even if someone catches something here, they will not get the direct ID for this database. Everything is saved in the key vault. Key vault is very secure place, right? And then request is going from key vault to your database. It is as good as a jump server, you can say, where you do not want to access your database or your application directly and want to keep something in between. That is your key vault is. Is it clear, guys, to everyone? What is the functionality of key vault? How to use that, where we can attach that at NIC level, subnet level, etc. All this we'll do when we do the practical. Is the concept clear to you? What is a key vault?
Understand.
Yes.
It is basically to have more security while from hackers or to secure the database from any other circumstances, right?
Yes, and it's not necessarily only database. It could be anything. I'm giving you an example of app server and database. It could be anything. This could be a API server, and this could be the main server from it is fetching the data. It could be anything, but the concept remains same, and it's not always secret. Let's say to access this website, I need certificate, so I can save my certificate here also. It's not always the password. Key vaults can have secrets, key vaults can have keys, and key vaults can have certificate. So it could be anything. Is this clear, the concept of key vault, guys? Yes, anyone has any doubt?
So key vault is applied only to virtual machine or to storage as well, Sohail?
Anywhere, anywhere.
Okay,
Almost every
okay,
service can use. I am giving you an example of storage and application server. It could be two different, it could be web app here. It could be a web app here and a function app here. Maybe for some reason they want to talk to each other, but I do not want them to talk uh, for them to talk to each other directly, where I have to give, because if one resource wants to talk to another resource, they need to have a user ID or password or something. Like if you want to log in somewhere, you need user ID or password, right? So that user ID and password I'm keeping in a key vault. As simple as that.
तो वो ऑटोमेटिक बैकग्राउंड में मतलब ये होता है क्या, चलता है
नहीं
क्या,
नहीं नहीं,
जैसे मतलब
हाँ
क्रिएट
चलेगा
होता
ऑटोमेटिकली,
है?
चलेगा ऑटोमेटिकली,
अच्छा
बनता ऑटोमेटिकली नहीं, आई मीन इट्स ऑप्शनल. Whatever we
अच्छा,
have been
ओके
seeing now, उन सब पे key vault कहीं पर भी नहीं था. Now we are going to create
अच्छा,
key vault.
ओके
Is it clear, guys, everyone?
समझ.
Okay, so now let's see. If I go here and create a key vault, I will select some, I'll select my resource group. I'll give the key vault name. Now there is uh, uh, a condition here also. Key vault name, it has to be in alphanumeric, it has to be in small. I'm not sure if it takes capital. Let's see. See, it doesn't take. Same conditions what you have on your storage account naming convention, exactly same conditions you will have here. So if you get a question in exam or in aptitude test that can I create a key vault with name key vault, can they create a key vault something like this?
एक्सेप्ट हो रहा है ये तो.
Yeah, it is taking. So I think it's not about, wait, it is taking caps then. 3 to 24, value must only contain alphanumeric. So okay, it doesn't talk about the caps. But if I say I want key vault with this name, it won't work. Minimum it has to have 3. If I want a key vault with this name, it will, it is taking. So whatever conditions are here, make sure you go through them once whenever you practice. So if a question comes like this, that can I have a key vault with this name, you should know कि नहीं ये सब दो character है, ये नहीं होगा. Is it clear, guys, to everyone?
हम्म.
Okay, if we need
Yeah,
more
actually,
information, we can collect it from here. That what are the exact naming convention? Yes, someone was asking something. Okay, if not, let's see. Proceed. East US pricing tier standard and premium. Forget about the premium. HSM, it's very high level concept. I have not seen people dealing with it. They don't even ask it. Here you get some hardware device, and the price, the cost is very different in standard and premium. If you want to see, you can go to Azure calculator and check key vault standard and premium. So we are going to just discuss standard. Okay. Now, is the soft delete available? I mean, do you want to keep soft delete? It is enabled. You don't have any option to enable, right? But for how many days do you want soft delete? So I'm keeping it minimum. I think it's 7. Yeah, here it is 7. So what does it mean? That whichever key I will be keeping in this key vault, whichever secret I'll be keeping in this key vault, whichever certificate, when I delete it, should there be a soft delete? Yes, it is enabled. There is no option to disable it. For how many days that needs to be there? It is 7 days. Minimum 7 days you can keep. You cannot select it lesser than 7 days. So after 7 days, if I delete something, it will be there and then it will get deleted. Is it clear, guys, to everyone?
सोहेल, ये जो की वॉल्ट है,
Hmm.
ये सब्सक्रिप्शन बेस्ड है या सर्टिफिकेट बेस्ड है?
What do you mean by certification based?
मतलब जैसे कि अभी यहाँ पे आप जाके एक अकाउंट क्रिएट कर रहे हो ना की वॉल्ट का,
No, we're
तो इसका एक
creating key vault. Like we create virtual machine,
हाँ जी,
we're creating a key
अच्छा
vault. It is a service.
अच्छा अच्छा, तो इसके अंदर अपन सर्टिफिकेट, जो इम्पोर्टेंट सर्टिफिकेट्स होते हैं,
Hmm.
तो वो हम इसमें स्टोर करके रख सकते हैं, राइट?
Right.
ओके, समझ गए।
Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, it should be in same region when the virtual machine is deployed on that, right?
Not really. We'll
Okay.
see that. Okay. So, days to remain deleted in vaults. If I delete a key or a certificate or a secret, uh, so it will be there for 7 days, right? It will be there for 7 days. Now, purge protection. What is it? If I disable the purge protection, it allows the key vault object to be purged during the retention period. What is the retention period? 7 days. If I want कि मैं soft delete में से permanent delete कर पाऊँ, when it is in soft delete, then you disable purge protection. If I want कि जैसे ही ये किसी ने delete कर दिया, तो it has to be there in 7 days. तो 7 days से पहले कोई भी delete नहीं कर पाएगा. You enable it, and once you enable it, you cannot disable it. So if I enable it and go ahead, create this vault, create a key, and then delete that key. That key will be gone to this. That key will be saved in soft delete, and I cannot delete it from there. It will be there in soft delete for 7 days by default. No one can do anything about it. Once you select this, it cannot be changed. Once it is there, you cannot delete it. So for our practical purpose, we'll disable the purge protection. So it will allow me to delete the file or key or secret, whatever is there. It will allow me to delete it. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, now next. I told you that it wasn't there. This option was not there. It was always based on policy, but now we have this one access. So we'll go ahead with the rollback access. So whoever has access on this one as a owner, they will have owner access. I mean, same whatever we have been doing. RBAC, you know. Resource access. Why are we creating it? Are we creating it for virtual machines, template deployment, or disk encryption? I mean, I can create a vault where I will say I want this vault only for disk encryption. I'm not going to do anything else. But in this case, I'm selecting all of them. Next, networking. Now, allow from all. See, one who asked that question whether it has to be in same virtual network. Satish, was that you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So why is it not required? Because it works on over the internet. It works over the public network. Hence, it doesn't matter where you are working from and where it's like storage account, right? We have seen in storage also it doesn't ask for any region because it doesn't matter. It works over the internet, right? So from where do you want this key to be accessible? All networks or some selected networks? If you do a selected networks, add existing networks. Now look at this. Here I will see all my virtual networks. Got it, guys? Let me show it to you, these virtual networks. Where are these virtual networks?
एक ईस्ट यूएस में है और एक वेस्ट यूएस में है।
Can I see both of them?
करेक्ट।
right? And my key vault is being deployed in East US, and I can still see a network which is in West US. Hence here, that region wala thing, it's not applied. Is it clear, guys? Because even if I select this one, the traffic will be routed from internet. That is the reason. That is the logic behind it. Okay, so as of now, we are going to say all networks, and then next. Tags we know, so let's create it. It is validating. And I'm creating it now. Disk decryption we have seen, guys. Do you remember? OS disk encryption. Do you guys remember this topic when we talked about encryption? This encryption, which is a platform managed key encryption, that this disk is encrypted, and you can have one customer managed key. So if you want to keep that key in your vault, you can do that also. Let's say if I want to encrypt this disk. So if I click save, it will ask me a key vault. I don't want to do it on this machine. First, let's check if our key vault is ready. So I can explain from here. Then you will have a better understanding. Yes, so key vault is ready. Now look at this, guys. This is our key vault. Okay. Activity log, IAM, tags, diagnose problem, everything is same. Access policy. We are not going to use access policy here because we have selected RBAC. Now look at this, keys. So I can here either import a key, like you have your BitLocker keys, you can import a key from there, or you can create a new key. Let's say you don't have to worry about this, what type of key type and RSA size. All this information you'll get from your security team, because it's completely a cryptographic understanding you need to know what is 2048, 3072, 4096, when to use EC, when to use RSA. So you don't have to worry about at all, right? Do you want to activate this key right away, or do you want it for a future date? You can select that. Do you want to keep this key any expiration date, that this key should be valid from this date to this date? You can do that. If no, you can leave it and you create a key. I see there's some error. Okay, I do not have sufficient access to that. Let's see. Being an owner also, I do not have access. Maybe we'll have to check. See, all these are owner, and I am also owner on this one. It still doesn't have any, doesn't give me option. So let me see. Maybe we will have to deal with policies also. I'm trying to get access to myself. Even when I am an owner on this one, I'm still not getting, I do not have that option to create something. So I am going back to policy and checking if I can assign some access using policy. Okay, let's see. We'll create a policy where I'll select all of them. But by just reading this, you will understand कि किसको किस level का आप लोगों को ये देना है. That if you have a user or a machine, let's say a user, a developer who wants to access this key. So you won't give him all the import, delete, recover. You'll just give him get and list. So he can list all the keys and he can, with the get command, he can fetch those keys. That's all. उतना ही आप यहाँ पर दोगे. But I will take all of the accesses. Let's see how it works. To whom are we giving this access? This is very important, guys. Look at this. Key vault, I explained it to you, right? That I will give access on the key vault to that machine, and key vault को access मिलेगा storage का. So here it is where we are deciding that to whom are we giving this access. It's not only your end users. It is, look at this. This is AAD reporting. This is a user. This is a user. All these are users, as in system users or system identity, I will call them. But as of now, I want to assign access to myself. We'll see that again. So at least let me get the access so I can assign accesses to others. So if I generate a key, done. So here it is, guys. This is the key. Simple. इसमें कोई बड़ा लॉजिक वगैरह कुछ नहीं. डोंट हैव टू वरी अबाउट द की और कुछ नहीं. आपको बस ये की जो है इसको दे देना. और मे बी यू हैव टू गिव दिस वन. नाउ you don't have to, do you guys remember I told you वो वाला code जहाँ पे you had to write user ID and password. Now instead of that you are redirecting. जहाँ पर भी user ID और password का column आता है, developer will put this one. It is redirecting the user or system identity कि आपको यहाँ से authenticate करना है. So you just have to share this simple, this one. बस इतना ही share करना है आपको. And then it's developer's job how to integrate it. Is it clear, guys? Yes, no, maybe, any confusion?
ये थोड़ा confusing लगा सुन.
Which part?
Uh,
Could
ये
someone
अभी जो
elaborate the
आपने
question? Yes,
ये
guys,
जो
what
आपने
about
अभी टेस्ट
others?
की बना.
Got it, yes. Yes, guys, what about others? Can someone elaborate the question? What did you not understand?
Sir, so also this is Ganesh. Can we, I mean, in layman language, can we relate this particular key wallet to the Microsoft Authenticators kind of stuff? जो ऑथेंटिकेटर रहता है उससे हम
Not
कोरिलेट
really.
कर सकते हैं, राइट?
Not really. Authenticator जो है ना आपको एक two-factor authentication
वो भी
देता है.
एक्सेस देता है ना
Where,
सर?
where
राइट
you
राइट
where
यस.
you type in your password और second वाला है. यहाँ पर what am I saying? कि I want to is I as in my machine. Understand this? Okay.
Okay.
Here, 3-tier application में ये machine को जो है ना, this is a business requirement और application का requirement है. Application इसी तरह से चलनी चाहिए कि ये machine database को access करने वाली है. So how will we do it? It's not an end user के RDP करके ले लिया. It has to be programmatic way, in a programmatic manner. ना coding के through होगा. That this machine is connecting to this machine और यहाँ से data copy कर रही है, paste कर रहा है. This machine is doing for this machine. यहाँ तक clear है? This requirement is clear? कि इस
Yes.
तरह से भी होता है that one machine will connect to other machine, one machine will save some data to other machine, one machine may change some data in another machine. Is this clear to everyone? And not necessary, by the way, machines. One machine, it could be storage. One machine, it could be database. One web app, it could be machine here. It could be anything. Is it clear? Itna part? Yes, no,
Yes.
maybe. Okay. Now,
Yes.
if you have to make some changes, you as an end user, I'm telling you, go and log into that machine and delete that file. What do you require? What will you ask me? I've given you one IP address of an OS. I'm telling you इस desktop पे एक file है, उसको edit कर देना है आपको.
I'll need username and password.
Exactly. So like you need a user ID and password. Even this machine needs a user ID and password to access this machine. Is this clear till here?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how will you access? You will access using RDP. You're a human, you know RDP. How will this machine access this machine? It's all in the coding. You will not see कि इस machine से literally RDP open हो रहा automatically, वैसे कुछ नहीं होगा. It's all in the coding. Code के through इस machine को access किया जाएगा. So, but when you're doing it on a code, you will have to give that user ID and password, right? जब code लिखा जा रहा है that this machine should go here and write something. तो ये machine तो ऐसे ही नहीं welcome कर देगा ना. This machine will require some sort of authentication. And this authentication, this user ID and password जो इस machine के लिए हमने बनाया है, ठीक है, इस machine के लिए जो user ID and password बनाया है, वो इस code में लिखा गया है. Is this clear till here? And then this machine can access this machine. Without any key vault, it is very simple. You can do that. You can achieve it. कि इस machine के लिए एक user ID password बना दिया और वो programming language में लिख दिया and they are accessing it now. Is this clear, guys? Till here?
Yes.
Now, but the point is क्योंकि end user जो अपना password अपने तक रखेगा, right? At least expectation तो यही है. But this is somewhere in written. Code लिखा हुआ है कहीं पे और plain language में, plain code में password लिखना, it's not at all a safe practice. So what am I saying? That instead of going directly, why can't I save my passwords here, which is called key vault? And in my code, I'm not writing this address directly. I will write this address. तो मेरे कोड में यहाँ पर जाएगा, यहाँ पर वो encryption की, पासवर्ड वगैरह जो कुछ लेना है, जो कुछ परफॉर्म होना हो जाएगा, and then this will go to this machine. So anyone, even if someone cracks it in the traffic, they're not getting it in plain code, in plain text. This is why we are using our key vault. Is it clear, guys? Still here?
Yes, sir.
Now, next. अब इसको यहाँ जाने के लिए पासवर्ड वगैरह ये सब लग रहा था. So how will it directly go to key vault? Key vault पे भी तो कोई एक्सेस चाहिए होगा ना. So what we do, we give, instead of this machine, इस database पे इस key vault को access दे दिया और इस key vault पे इस machine को access दे दिया. मतलब this machine getting access on key vault and key vault is getting access on database. So this key vault can do the task on behalf of this user. कौन सा task? सिर्फ authentication वाला task. Is this clear, guys, now?
Yes, sir.
What about others? Are you getting it?
So instead of that database machines username password, we will have a key which will be stored in the key vault.
Yes.
So this backend machine will go to key vault
Yes.
and with the key it will authenticate and then go to the database.
Right.
So where did we mention that like this is going to this database? Like
We'll do that. No, I told you, right? Then
okay,
see, I'm giving this machine access to this key vault, and I'm
yeah.
giving this key vault access on this one. So here I'm
Mhm.
creating this connection.
Yes.
So this key vault has to have some access on database. That we will do.
Okay.
Like earlier, we were giving with user ID and password, we're giving access on this machine to this machine. Similarly,
Mhm.
now we are giving access to this key vault.
Okay, got it.
वो कहाँ पर करना है? Practically, we are going to see that. But is the concept clear to everyone now?
Yes.
What about others, guys? Is it clear?
It's clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So look at this. इस तरह से ये जा रहा है यहाँ पर. Okay. So now I have created a key. This is the key. और ये URL मैं दे रहा हूँ अपने डेवलपर को, right? डेवलपर ने उस मशीन के स्क्रिप्ट में ये URL लिख दिया. Simple. And then this is how it will go. But now the question is कि access कैसे मिलेगा? So let's say that if I want this machine to connect to some other machine, I will go to that machine और वहां पे मैं इसको allow कर दूंगा. Simple. Is it clear to everyone? और ये machine
Okay.
जो है, this machine which is accessing to this key vault, अगर की वॉल्ट में मैंने अपने सारे पासवर्ड्स वगैरह रखे हैं तो की वॉल्ट भी तो सिक्योर होना जरूरी है, राइट? नो वन कैन कम एंड जस्ट उसको किसी को ये यूआरएल मैंने दे दिया, just with the help of this URL, no one will be able to access. ये URL सब डायरेक्ट कर रहा है. To access, you will have to give access on this key vault. इस key vault पे आप पे आकर आपको यहाँ पर इस तरह से access देना पड़ेगा. You'll have to create one access. Look at this. Now I'm saying कि machine को सिर्फ get का access चाहिए. To next. And here search for your machine's ID. Now I'll show you where do you get machine's ID. Let's say if this is the machine I'm talking about, कि मुझको इस machine को 1 को 5 पे access देना है की वॉल्ट के थ्रू, तो मुझको अभी 1 को एक्सेस देना होगा की वॉल्ट का, राइट? सो आई कम हियर, आई गो टू आइडेंटिटी, मशीन्स की आइडेंटिटी में आऊंगा मैं, यूजर असाइन एंड सिस्टम असाइन, विल ऑलवेज डील विद सिस्टम असाइन जो अपने आप बन जाएगी, क्रिएट अपने आप बन जाएगी व्हेन यू सेलेक्ट दिस, अदरवाइज अपने आप नहीं बनती. ओके, नाउ यू हैव दिस आईडी, सो आई गो टू माय की वॉल्ट, अगेन गो टू की वॉल्ट, गिव एक्सेस, गेट वाला एक्सेस देना है मुझको, किसको देना है? टू दिस आईडी. आर यू गेटिंग इट? आपके
Yes,
VM
sir.
को, वर्चुअल मशीन को अब मैंने कीवर्ड का एक्सेस दे दिया. दैट देयर इज नो पर्सन, वर्चुअल मशीन को कीवर्ड का एक्सेस मिला. प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज के थ्रू आपका वर्चुअल मशीन कीवर्ड में जाएगा, वो कीवर्ड से वहां पे देन वो आपके डेटाबेस में ये एंटर करेगा, चेंजेस होगा. तो इसमें बेनिफिट क्या मिल रहा है? प्लेन टेक्स्ट में कुछ नहीं रह रहा है.
Yes.
व्हाट अबाउट अदर्स गाइस, इज इट क्लियर टू यू
Yes.
एवरीवन?
Yes.
Okay, 30 seconds are left. Let's see you guys at 4 o'clock. I will do the practical and then we'll finish it for today. So this was keyword theory part. We'll do the practical in next session. See you guys in 5 minutes at 4 o'clock.